So we'll move on here. Next questions would be for Arctic Star. Pat, I see you there. So as Dave kind of mentioned, Arctic Star has begun drilling at the Diagras project. Do you have a timeline for when we can expect results?
Yeah. Once we've intersected kimberlite, it'll take about 4 to 6 weeks to get diamond results back. We will probably have a news release for every kimberlite we hit, and that could be from this point on. We're down in the first hole. We started drilling yesterday. We had a pump problem, but we're back up and drilling, and we're in the overburden, and we expect to get through that sometime today. So when we hit bedrock, we'll know for our first hole. And then from that point on, it'll take about 4 to 6 weeks to get diamond results. We're gonna have to split the core, break it up, bag it, send it to Yellowknife, and then it'll go from there to Chuck Fippy's lab in Kelowna to be fused. So there's our rig. We're using Aurora Geoscience as an overall contractor. We've used them many times before. They're excellent, but they're based out of the territories, and that lets us get the program happening because we get the COVID restrictions, and if we brought anyone from out of province, we'd be in a little bit of a worry. But every bit of the crew here, including helicopter companies, all the support companies, are from the territory, so we have no problem that way.
Okay, great. And this picture was taken, was it yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Great. Okay, so the next question here is, what can we expect with these results compared to the previous De Beers discoveries in the area?
Well, that's the whole premise of the program, and it comes out of Buddy's head. And when he was back in his Rio Tinto days, he hit 101 pipes in this area with Rio Tinto, and that eventually became Diavik. In '98, he took 20 of his pipes, and he just thought there was no reason why everyone in the world should be drilling mag lows. And in fact, there's a lot of literature through the Russians and through Buddy and Rio Tinto, and that Rio's information came from Buddy, is that magnetics are destructive to diamonds. So when you're drilling something that is magnetic, there is some form or degree of damage to the diamonds. They could be partly etched, they could be partly resorbed, or they could be fully resorbed back to carbon. But it's not the ideal setting for diamonds. What it does always generally is it gets you into a new field. So you want to hit those pipes to understand that you're in a new field. And then the thinking these days compared to back in the early 90s when Lac de Gras was having his first thing, is that the other pipes, which are magnetics and gravity, which do not contain magnetic or magnetite, and those are all the pipes from Akati and Diavik that produce. There's no magnetic pipes that produce from those two companies. And there is two, but they're slightly magnetic. So they're considered an EM and gravity target. So Buddy in 1998 took 20 of his pipes. We ran big grids around him, or he did, and he found 10 more pipes that were associated with his magnetic pipes. Long story short, every one of those pipes had a better diamond result than the sister mag low. So that's the premise of this, what we're doing right now. We picked up 23 pipes 7 years ago that De Beers dropped after 27 years. They hit 27 or 23 mag lows. We did geophysics around all of them now. We've got 15 targets. And some geophysics still to come back, so that might increase. All of them are non-magnetic, so that is our premise. We're drilling those targets starting yesterday, and we expect to have some pretty interesting diamond results. De Beers had some interesting diamond results on their mag lows, but we expect, based on history, that will get better. Just as a sideline, De Beers dropped 2 pipes about 10 years ago that Mountain Province picked up, did the same thing. They actually said they're doing what Buddy did, went on the ground, did gravity EM. They found 2 extensions to those pipes, drilled them both. They were both new kimberlites, and that became a mine. It's like 1-2, done. So there's strong evidence what we're doing here is going to provide some really interesting results. The first step is to get the kimberlites. The second step is to fuse them, and overall that'll be about a 3-month process. If we're very successful in a lot of pipes here, it'll probably be a little longer than that. Because 50's lab can only take 8 kilos per kiln. Each fusion session is 24 hours, and if you get more and more sample, it just takes a little longer and longer. But you'll have ongoing results. It won't be released in one blob. You'll see them probably weekly. So there'll be a lot of news releases, a lot of excitement, and we're the only game in town. And I mean, in the world, we're pretty well the only ones doing what we're doing. So we have we have everyone's attention that is interested in diamonds. So it'll be fun.